Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S26 series is on track to be one of the most disappointing flagship launches in recent memory, not because of the technology, but because of what you'll be forced to pay for it. Based on early leaks and reports, the Galaxy S26 lineup is expected to cost around $70 more than the S25 series, pushing prices into a range that will make a lot of people seriously reconsider upgrading. And here's the worst part. You're not even getting dramatically better cameras for that extra money. In this video, we're breaking down everything that's wrong with Samsung's Galaxy S26 pricing strategy, why these phones might not be worth it, and whether you should skip the upgrade this year. If you're thinking about buying a new Samsung phone, watch this before you spend your money. Let's start with the price shock headed your way. The base Galaxy S26 is rumored to start at around 1.2 million won, which translates to roughly $835. That's a noticeable jump from the S25 starting price. And remember, this is just the entry-level model. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to go as high as 2.2 million won, or about $1.525. To put that into perspective, that's more than many people pay in monthly rent. But what really stings about these price hikes is what you're getting or not getting. For that extra cash. Samsung is effectively asking you to pay more money for almost the same camera experience you got last year. Both the Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus are rumored to feature nearly identical camera hardware to their Galaxy S25 counterparts. So you're paying flagship level prices for what is essentially last year's camera tech. It gets even worse with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Reports suggest it could actually ship with a smaller telephoto zoom camera compared to previous Ultra models. In other words, in at least one key area, you're paying more and getting less. So why is Samsung doing this? It's not necessarily just corporate greed, though that might play a role. There are some serious supply chain and component cost issues pushing these prices up. According to Counterpoint Research, memory prices are expected to soar by 80 to 90% in the first quarter alone. That's not a small increase. That's a massive spike. DRAM and NAND flash memory, which are critical components in every smartphone, have become significantly more expensive. On top of that, TSMC, the company that manufactures most of the chips used in smartphones, has raised its prices as well. This directly impacts Qualcomm, which supplies the processors for many Samsung Galaxy phones. As a result, the overall bill of materials for smartphones has risen by 10 to 25% from early last year to the end of the year, with another 10 to 15% increase expected by the second quarter of this year. When you add all these hikes together, it becomes clear why Samsung feels pressured to push retail prices higher. But here's the problem with Samsung's strategy. Global smartphone average selling prices are only expected to increase by about 6.9% this year. Samsung's rumored price jumps for the Galaxy S26 lineup are moving much faster than the rest of the industry. That puts the company in a very risky position. If Samsung raises prices too aggressively, consumers will simply stop buying their phones. They keep prices flat. Their profit margins shrink because of rising component costs. So Samsung is stuck between a rock and a hard place. But at the end of the day, we as consumers are the ones paying the price for this dilemma. And the pain doesn't stop with the Galaxy S26 series. Memory shortages and higher component costs are expected to continue into next year. That means other upcoming Samsung phones like the Galaxy Z Fold 8, the Galaxy A57, and the Galaxy S26 Fan Edition are also likely to be more expensive than the models they replaced. In short, Samsung's entire smartphone lineup is on track to get pricier. Samsung's NX division might be able to absorb some of those extra costs on the Ultra models, because people buying Ultra phones are already used to paying top dollar. But for average users considering the standard Galaxy S26, these increases are going to hurt. Speaking of price, there's already been some interesting activity in the secondary market. Someone reportedly tried to sell a Galaxy S26 Plus for $1,650. on Craigslist before the phone was even officially announced. We can't confirm if that was a real device or just a fake listing, but it shows how high prices can climb in unregulated markets and how much perceived value people are attaching to these phones before launch. This kind of early reselling usually happens when someone gets access to review units or leak prototypes. The asking price tells us a lot about what people think these devices will be worth. Now let's talk about what Samsung is actually offering for these higher prices. The Galaxy S26 series is rumored to bring a handful of design and feature upgrades. Samsung has redesigned the camera bump, integrating it more smoothly into the phone's frame for a cleaner, more polished look compared to previous generations. The series will reportedly come in several color options. The standard Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus are expected in black, cobalt, violet, sky blue, and white. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will have exclusive shades like pink, gold, and silver shadow, plus a matte black finish designed to improve grip and cut down on fingerprints. Samsung is also said to be adding a privacy display feature, which could be especially useful for professionals who handle sensitive information on their phones. On the display side, the screens are rumored to support 10-bit color depth, which should deliver richer, more vibrant colors and better HDR performance. AI is another big focus for the Galaxy S26 series. Across the lineup, Samsung is planning major AI power upgrades. You can expect smarter camera modes that automatically optimize settings based on your scene, improve predictive text for faster, more accurate typing, personalized app recommendations based on your daily usage, AI-driven system optimization that manages battery life, background processes, and multitasking more intelligently. All of this is meant to make the Galaxy S26 series feel more adaptive, personalized, and user-friendly. But here's the question you really need to ask yourself. Are these upgrades worth paying $70 more per device? The design changes are nice, but they don't radically change how you use your phone. The AI features sound promising, but many of them are software-based and could, in theory, be added to older Galaxy models through future updates. Camera improvements on the S26 and S26 Plus are minimal. And in the case of the S26 Ultra's telephoto zoom, you might actually be getting a downgrade. Samsung is expected to officially unveil the Galaxy S26 lineup at Galaxy Unpacked on February 25, 2026. The event will take place in San Francisco and will be streamed live on YouTube. Pre-reservations are already open in regions like the United States, India, and parts of Europe. Samsung is offering various pre-order bonuses, including discounts on accessories and extended warranty options. These incentives are clearly designed to push early sales despite the higher prices. My recommendation: be very cautious about pre-ordering before watching in-depth reviews and real-world camera and battery tests. What's happening with the Galaxy S26 series is part of a much bigger trend in the smartphone market. Component costs are rising, but consumers aren't willing to endlessly pay more for small, incremental upgrades. That puts companies like Samsung in a tight spot. Either accept lower profit margins or risk losing customers. For us as buyers, it means we need to be a lot more selective about when we upgrade. The era of automatic yearly upgrades might be coming to an end for many people. If you're currently using a Galaxy S24 or S25, the rumored improvements in the Galaxy S26 series may not justify the extra costs. You might be better off holding on to your current phone, waiting for prices to drop, or looking at alternative options in Samsung's range, or even from other brands. Samsung's Galaxy S26 pricing strategy feels like a test of consumer loyalty. The company is effectively asking you to pay more for relatively modest improvements. Whether this gamble pays off will depend on how much value people place on having the very latest Samsung flagship.